Welcome to our Conscious Energy presentation on solar power and going solar, as well as how to join the conscious energy revolution. I want to start by giving you a little background on how conscious energy came to be. So the founder, Jake Wilson, has a degree in architecture and has been studying solar for close to 20 years now. He had bought solar and had experienced the bad side of the industry. He was told it was going to cover 90% of his use, and in the end, it only covered 60%, leaving a large solar bill and having to pay the utility company the difference. This ended up going from a $60 to $70 a month electric bill to combined almost $130 a month. He wanted to find a company to sell solar for because he does believe in the solar industry, but he just couldn't find a reputable company that wasn't overcharging customers or overpromising what the system could do, which is what he experienced personally. And with the background in sales, team, and business development, he saw an opportunity to build a solar company from scratch that puts the homeowner education, like yourself, as the top priority, that provides a long-term energy solution that other companies just currently don't do, and be able to do it at a rate that makes sense for every homeowner. Pretty much, it was time for a conscious energy revolution. So what is the conscious energy revolution? Well, it's more than about just slapping panels onto a roof and saying you're going solar and saying, "Yay, job done." What we do is we start by planting a tree locally in the name of every homeowner we work with, because we want people thinking and realizing that every decision we make lasts for generations beyond. It's also not about saving money, or shall we say just about saving money, which does happen. It's about choosing where the money that we spend every month for our power is going to go. It's either going to go to a large utility company, or we can invest it into ourselves, saving the environment for us and the next generation, and get rewarded for doing so, financially and otherwise. And the conscious energy revolution is not just about putting solar on to offset electric use. It's about finding ways to reduce our consumption by having our homes be more efficient. In general, it's about being more energy conscious overall about our uses and what we do on a daily basis. So the conscious way is about looking at the real cost of renting our power versus paying for solar and investing in it. For example, if you had a $150 a month electric bill, that's the equivalent of planting 263 trees every single year for the next 30 years. And while in Colorado, for example, your electricity would be about $1,800, over the next 25 years, you will have spent over $75,000. That's assuming an average 4% increase in utilities, which is pretty standard with how utility companies have been growing. On top of that, you're going to get a potential increase in equity of close to $30,000. And after factoring that and everything in, you're going to get a potential 35-year savings of close to $50,000. Now, that's just the financial benefits to it. But how to make sure this happens is you have to size the system for a full offset, or ideally 103 to 105% to build up a solar bank to account for degradation. This assumes that you have a net metering law, like we do in Colorado, where any excess that you produce goes to a solar bank that the utility company holds for you. Panels will degrade over time. The higher the quality of the panel, the less that the panels will degrade. So by offsetting it to 103 to 105%, you get a little bit extra. So as the panels degrade, you have an excess to cover you for your use over the coming years. By using the highest quality panels, which are considered tier 1 panels, they're going to last longer, they're also going to perform best, and they're going to degrade less. All panels will degrade over time, but the higher the quality of the panel, the less it's going to degrade. The higher quality panels often will have a better aesthetic look. It's not going to have that bluish bright tint that a lot of them have, and just looks more sleek in general. They're also more durable and more aesthetically appealing. High performing panels are tested up to a billiard-sized hail at 70 miles an hour. So if something happens to the panels, it's also going to happen to your roof. And what we're able to do in Colorado is we're also roofing and insurance claim specialists. So if anything does happen down the line, we'll make sure that not only do your panels get covered, we can also take care of your roof and the entire claim for you. A little history in Colorado about utility overview, history, and the future of utilities in Colorado. The average retail price of electricity in Colorado has gone at an average of close to 63% increase since 2001. The average increase in electricity has gone up at about 62%, while the household median income has only increased 4%. And this is going to continue as it has and as it always will. Looking at the various regions of how we stack up in Colorado, we're still at the high end of close to 61% of an increase compared to the national average of 46, and still close to almost twice the rate of inflation at 35%, as it has increased in the last 15 years. Excel, for those of you in Colorado that have it, is moving to a time of use billing in 2021. So between 2 p.m. and 10 p.m., you're going to be billed differently than from 10 p.m. to 2 p.m. at a much higher rate, which is when we use the most electricity. So that increase can go up even more next year. So how does solar work, and what is net metering? In Colorado, we have a law called net metering, which means that whatever your system produces, you get credit for. So if you don't use it in your home, it goes right to the solar bank in the utility company's grid, and they have to give you credit for it. Any excess that you have will cover the other times of use that the solar is not generating the electricity, such as off-peak hours. The panels will collect the energy in direct current. It goes to an alternator, which will convert it to alternating current, uses it for your home, and whatever is left is what goes to the utility company, to their grid. That is one of the best reasons why Colorado will have one of the best places to go solar, because of our large number of solar days and solar hours throughout the year, as well as the net metering law. There is a federal tax credit for going solar. However, it is going away. Up until 2019, you were able to get 30% of the entire project back on a federal tax credit. In 2020, that number is 26%. And in 2021, it goes down to 22%. After 2021, residential will no longer get any of the solar tax credit. There is still 10% will go towards the commercial tax credit. It will be available going on. One of the unique parts about this is you can include at least part of the roof replacement cost if you do the roof at the same time. Because our Conscious Energy consultants, we're also roofing claim specialists, this gives us a unique ability to do roofs at the same time. Included in your system is also an Emporia energy monitoring system. This will track the production that your solar system provides, as well as will track your 8 most used circuits on your home. And this allows you to self-manage where you're using the most energy and be able to self-correct wherever you're finding some extra energy use is being done that you may not need it to. This allows you to manage consumption problems before they escalate, as well as to see in general how your overall system is doing. And while the Emporia energy system is good at tracking your solar system's production as well, we also will get with your Solar Edge power inverter a monitoring system that will track it exactly what you're using. Now, this will give you an exact number of how much your consumption works. It optimizes every single panel individually. And the Solar Edge power inverter is 97 to 99% effective at converting direct current to alternating current. We also make sure that you get the 25-year extended warranty on the Solar Edge. So if anything does happen, you're going to be covered in getting an entirely new Solar Edge system. There is an increase in home equity. Now, at Conscious Energy Consultants, we wrote the only continuing education course on solar and property in the state of Colorado. So when we say you're able to get this, this is not just from us. We use independent studies throughout the country, including the Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory, Department of Energy affiliated research lab, has stated where the increase in property can go. Depends a lot on what the system size is. It does not matter at all how much you pay for the system. It is 100% determined by the size of your system and what it does. So just because you pay a lot for it does not inherently mean you're going to get a lot of equity. For our installation partners, we have chosen Titan Solar Power of Colorado. They have one of the quickest turnarounds in the state, an average of 30 to 45 days. And in Denver County, we can do it under 30 days. Now, this is because they have their systems completely locked in. They've done over 11,000 installs nationally in 2019, probably going to do closer to 14 to 15,000 in 2020. We offer a 30-year production guarantee from the largest, one of the largest panel manufacturers in the world. And because the panels are made in America, they are not subject to tariffs. So regardless of whatever happens in the industry, you are going to be protected and always get the best rates. Everybody is going to be licensed, bonded, and insured that installs your system. Everybody's manufacturer trained, and a 10-year workmanship warranty. The reason why we chose them is because they are a wholesaler. You cannot work directly with Titan. They do not sell the systems. They work at what they're best at, and we work at what we're best at, which is making sure that we build your system properly and help in partnership with Titan to make sure that it's installed as quickly as possible, and we work with you ongoingly to make sure that your system is fully producing. So what we have is the Conscious Energy Guarantee. This is the only guarantee of its type in the state of Colorado or that we've known from. The reason why is because of what our founder had come across with his previous company is they can make a lot of promises of what it will produce, but in the end, they're not responsible or liable if for any reason it doesn't produce it for the most part. What we did is we're putting our money where our mouth is. If we build a system to at least that 103% of your previous year's usage, then we guarantee that the system for at least 24 months will cover all of your consumption needs. If the system doesn't, then we will pay the property owner the difference in the uncovered kilowatt electric usage during that time, and an additional $250 per year that your usage isn't covered for the first 2 years of the calendar system. So if for a year it doesn't get covered by 100 kilowatts, we will reimburse you with that amount and $250 for that year. This is the only one of its type because we are willing to guarantee that from the start, we're going to build it the right way.